Dual Blade homies, we are eating good with this patch cycle. We already got some nice damage buffs thanks to some minor tweaks and new synergistic armor sets from the initial Title Update 2 content drop. And with this August update, we're getting something truly game-changing for Dual Blades. It feels like the devs are really listening, and it's more than just one singular buff. If you enjoy videos like these, support your boy by hitting that like button and subscribe for more Monster Hunter Wilds content. Thanks. First up, while in Demon mode, our movement speed is increased. While admittedly minor, increased movement speed lets us stick to monsters more easily, giving us more opportunities to deal damage, while letting us conserve more stamina, an overall net positive. Alongside that, we're going to be getting an increased activation window for perfect evades, making it even easier for us to trigger the Demon Boost buff, a pivotal damage boost for any Dual Blade players without the need for Evade Window. Now, Evade Window is still a great skill to invest into if you want to activate Demon Dodge boost more often, but with this change, you get a bit more flexibility in terms of getting less utility skills and adding more to your offensive skills. Next up, once we get into that Demon Boost mode, the Screw Slicer dodge attack that we get will now change directions much easier and more responsibly while using Focus mode. This is a particularly nice quality of life buff that makes us Dual Blade homies look less psychotic while reorienting ourselves in Demon Boost mode. And it also saves us some Archdemon meter from having to spam multiple Demon Slicers to catch back up with any particularly mobile monsters. Furthermore, the duration of Demon Boost mode has been extended. This change gives us more uptime on one of Dual Blades' best damage modifier. The duration of the buff has changed from 20 seconds to a staggering 30 seconds. And finally, the strongest, most impactful change that we got is the addition of an alternative follow-up action to our Focus Strike. Before this patch, the Dual Blades' Focus Strike will deal a burst of damage at the beginning, then launch us into a long Beyblade animation. While the animation is hype AF and helps us to replenish our Demon Gauge, the damage dealt while rolling down a monster's spine is not so great. And more often than not, by using this Focus Strike, the Dual Blade user ends up dealing less damage over time while that animation is going on, and then they'll get put into a not so great position, usually behind the monster and not at their weak point. Overall, if you're a tryhard with Dual Blades, this Focus Strike is not the greatest thing to use, so you end up just not doing it. With this new alternative action, called the Turning Tide Drill, however, we'll get the perks of the Focus Strike, replenishing our Demon Gauge while dealing a huge burst of damage, all the while keeping us stationary onto the focal point. More so than just doing more focused DPS in a certain point with the Corkscrew, the ability to choose our options after doing the Focus Strike attack is amazing. Now we can make meaningful decisions depending on where we are located when we trigger that Focus Strike. If we need to ride a monster's spine to their head, we can do that. If we want to stay in place, we can now do that. The most optimal way to Focus Strike would be to get into the Demon Boost mode, throw down some Demon Dances to rack up damage while expending that Demon Gauge, then use this Corkscrew to get that Demon Gauge back to full while staggering an enemy for another flurry of Demon Boosted attacks. Outside of these direct changes to Dual Blades, there's another minor buff that could have a pretty spicy impact on the weapon type itself. And it's something that I made a mention of in a previous build videos a couple months back, so it definitely feels to me like the devs are listening. Maybe having some form of Bubble Blight as a 2-piece armor set bonus would be nice too, so then you can still use this weapon with a different type of armor combination setup. That would have been nice, but hey, it is what it is. The Misasune 2-piece armor set bonus now grants minor Bubble Blight to the user. To get this Bubble Blight, you have to dodge just 3 times and you'll get this minor Bubble Blight for 30 seconds. Previously, you had to get to the 4-piece bonus to get the Bubble Blight on roll, which is a lot more restrictive in terms of build crafting. Thanks to this really minor change, we can now make good use of the Misasune Dual Blades, which has Slick's Blade as a skill, granting us 21% affinity whenever we are afflicted with Blight. Combining 2 pieces of the Misasune armor with the Arc-Tempered armor that we just got from Raidao and Duna, we can make a build that gives us quite a substantial boost to our elemental attack damage while giving us high amounts of affinity. Here's an example build. By using the Raidao Helmet Gamma, Misasune Chest Beta, Raidao Gloves Gamma, Duna Waist Gamma, and the Misasune Pants Beta, alongside the decorations that you see on screen, we can get level 5 Burst, level 5 Weakness Exploit, and level 2 Coalescence with an effective 86% affinity that can be boosted to 95% whenever our character is wet. And that's all before accounting for charms. If you got blessed by the new RNG talismans, then cool, you can slap that on. Otherwise, level 3 Adrenaline Rush or level 3 Counter-Strike charms work just as well. The best part of this build is the level 2 Coalescence that gives us a 10% increase to our element's damage. Coalescence activates whenever we cure ourselves of a blight, and with Bubble Blight lasting 30 seconds, we can control when we get this Coalescence boost. Best of all, the skill itself lasts for 30 seconds, so after the initial Bubble Blight wears off, you can always get Coalescence and then trigger Bubble Blight right after to keep the skill activated indefinitely. Additionally, Minor Bubble Blight also gives us a minor increase to our invincibility frames during our dodge animation, making it easier to get that perfect evade. And because we have 3 pieces of the Arch-Tempered Apex Monster armor, we also get Lord Soul, giving us a 5% attack boost to our base attack, plus the ability to survive 1 lethal hit per life. As for some utility or comfort skills, we're going to be getting 2 levels of Evade Extender, making our Demon Dodge go a lot further, level 2 Tool Specialist, which gives us a 20% cooldown reduction on mantles, level 1 Maximum Might, which is kinda useless for dual blades, but it's nice to have. I guess you can go over 100% affinity in some cases, and then the pairing of Stamina Surge level 1 and Constitution level 1 to help us manage our stamina. For general use, my updated Title Update 2 Dual Blade build, link in the comments and the top right of the screen, is probably better. The Lagiacrus dual blades are just way too strong compared to the Misasune dual blades, but against water weak enemies, this new build may just come out on top due to higher elemental damage output and consistency thanks to level 5 bursts and being able to manually trigger Coalescence and keep it up almost permanently. And if you don't mind the loss of Slick's blade, this still holds true with an Artean water dual blade, trading in that extra affinity for more elements damage. Give it a try and let me know what you think. I'm really happy that they took in the feedback to make Bubble Blight activatable at 2 pieces instead of 4 pieces with the Misasune set bonus. Not only is it better for build variety, but it also showcases that the devs really are taking in feedback from a lot of different sources. And with that said, what are your thoughts on the current state of dual blades? Are you happy with the buffs? Or is it still missing a little bit of something? Let us know in the comments below, and who knows, maybe they'll read your comments and make changes that you thought were needed as well. Personally, even before the buffs, I've been greatly enjoying dual blades in this entry. Dual blades in Monster Hunter Wilds is probably my favorite iteration of dual blades in the franchise. The ability to weave in and out of Demon Dance alone makes the weapon so much more fluid and fun. And a little unknown thing, but when you are transitioning between Demon Flurry to Demon Blade, your hunter actually gets a really small amount of super armor so you can't go through attacks without getting flinched. Anyways, these extra changes just makes the weapon even more intuitive and free-flowing, allowing us to adapt to a lot of different situations. Because of how dual blades work, some skills that are amazing, like Max Might, doesn't really work for us, which is where the new RNG talismans come into play. Dual blades are a bit more picky in terms of the skills that they can and can't use, so having these RNG talisman combos could be the key to spicy new builds. To help increase your chances of getting the talismans you want, I've compiled a list of tips and tricks to efficiently farm these powerful talismans. Check out the video on screen right now for more info. My name is Versana, and I'll see you in the next video.